beautiful afternoon. We thank you for allowing us to meet in this class today. Lord, as Rod facilitates this class and whoever else is going to come in to talk to us, Lord, we pray that you will give them wisdom from above and that you will open up our inner ears that we may be able to hear and understand and also actualize on the things that we are going to be talked to about. We ask that you may bless the AOV fraternity and every contestant. We pray for those who are among us that are not feeling well. Lord, may you touch them and be together in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for praying. Yeah, without further ado, I'd like to begin the class. And so today I wanted us to learn something about the 5 W's and H. And basically what that is, it's that, and how it relates to performing arts, yeah? So when you talk about the 5 W's and H, there are certain criteria whenever you are writing or just about to prepare as an artist, as a singer, as a performer, that you should consider. So when you want to do something, let's say sorry for that, someone was trying to call me. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, if you can hear me, just raise up your hand. Good, there you go. There you go, awesome. So if I get lost, just raise up your hand and someone prompt me. Sarah, you prompt Kamasis Kiki and I'll be able to repeat, okay? All right, so I was saying that there are certain aspects you need to be able to consider when you're doing a song, for example, when you're writing a song, for example, that are supposed to guide you into what exactly you're supposed to be doing as a singer, as a performer, as an actor, whatever. Yeah, so in this context, we're going to stick into singing, we're going to stick to singing. So this thing that is called the 5 W's and H are things that are supposed to be able to guide you. When you're writing a song, the first W is usually who. And who basically means, with regards to your target audience, who is this song? Who is this song going to? Who are you writing this song for? And that is very important. Why is it important? Because it gets you focused with regards to your target audience. I was talking to another class recently and I was telling them, you can't target everybody. You have to have a certain target demographic that you're going to, yeah? For example, someone like Sarah Jai could decide my target demographic or my target audience would be single ladies and single women aged between, say, 24 all the way to 37. That's where my music wants to go, right? And it's going like that because she feels, as Sarah, that those are the kind of people that her song would be able to communicate to, for example. And that is why that W, that is who, is very important, right? So the first W is who. Who means, who am I writing for? Who's my target audience? Who's my demographic? And things like that. The second W is what. And what basically means, what am I going to write? What's the subject matter that I want to talk about, right? So what's the theme that I want to talk about? Because what you're writing and the theme, they go hand in hand, but they're not the same thing. Yeah, so you have to know, what am I writing? What topics am I discussing? Or what topics do I want to talk about in my song? And what themes am I using? Great thing is you can use 2 themes in one song. Yeah, but then again, remember, you can't do all the themes. You can only have maybe 2 or 3 that you keep your composition focused in one particular area, okay? All right, that's the second W. The third W is what you call when. And when is supposed to help you to know, when am I going to release this song? When am I going to shoot this song? When am I going to record this song? Right? Or you can even go further and say, when you're writing this song, if you're talking about a particular topic or theme, is it better when it's placed in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening in your scene? I want to give an example. I'm trying to look for. Imagine if Umenifanya Ningare has been shot at night. Yeah? Or Mioyo yetu twaleta mbele zako has been shot at night. Yeah. So when is supposed to give you a guideline of when am I particularly either going to shoot, to write, to release, to even to go and record it in studio. Why is that important? Because there's a season for every song, and every song has what you call a shelf life. And so someone who's very creative should be able to know, and someone who has wisdom is supposed to be able to, someone who's wise should be able to know that if I record and release my song during this particular time, there's a chance it will get maximum viewership at the end of the day. Hi, how are you doing? Good to see you too. Thank you so much. I like. Yeah. So like I was saying, when is very important because it helps you to be able to know how to be able to focus it with regards to when you're shooting, when you're writing, when you're recording, and all those kind of things. And I was talking about a song being seasonal and a song having what is called a shelf life. So being able to know that if I release the song in December, because it's more anchored towards Christmas, then I can't release it in December because that's when usually the songs are already being sung. So if I'm doing a Christmas carol, I need to release it late October, early November, okay? And then it will run all the way. If you're releasing a song about love and marriage and all those romantic things that people keep talking about, the best time to release it would be late November or early January so that it spills over into February. I hope that is understandable, okay? So far, before I proceed any further, please raise up your hand if you can hear me and if you understand what the heck I'm talking about. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Anyway, so mutanisamehea mkisikia some noises here. Oh, my voice, sorry. Let me see if I can be able to fix my microphone. I hope you can hear me well, precious, now. I'm trying to fix something. Kidogo tu.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I'm still here. I'm trying to fix something. Right. Okay. So there. So where was I? I was on when. So when it gets to, I think we're done with when. So when you come to the other fourth W is where. And where is basically where, which studio am I going to? Yeah. Where, which studio? Where am I going to launch it? Where am I going to release my music in terms of location and things like that? That is important. Why? Because certain songs have a certain affinity for certain locations. Okay? So if you're doing a song, umeenda kurecord, ushapata who you're writing for, what you're writing about, and when to release it, where to release it is actually equally important, right? There are songs like Moyo Wangu Wakupenda Wewe Wajua. If it's released in, yes sir, mzuri sana sir, how are you? Fine, thank you. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Anyway, so as I was saying, as I, as I was saying, where is equally important because where is supposed to be able to give you some sort of a layout of where you're going to launch it, where you're going to premiere your video, where you're going to premiere your song, where you're going to first perform that song either on stage, on studio, and things like that. That's very equal, it's equally as important as all of the others combined. The other W, the second, okay.
Rod, your mic is muted. Hello, Rod, your mic is on mute.
Sorry, guys, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Sawa. So I've been told that we're going to continue with the 5 Ws and H. Badai. I see Tabitha has been here, so she's been waiting, and Mtani just came in. So Judge Tabitha, by all means, karibu sana. So sorry. Karibu sana. Judge Tabitha, senior judge. Karibu sana. So sorry. Can you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you. Is the rule to have the cameras off? Hi. Hello, I can hear you all.
Yes, we can hear you.
You, Tabitha. We need to see you. For some people, you're the first. It's the first time, so let's just see you.
I'm just seeing I'm seeing names. So even me, I just want to put my name.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes Zoom does that. So,
yeah.
Sometimes Zoom does that. Yeah. So yeah, yes. But if they see you, it's good enough. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Helen, for having me. And hi to everyone out there. Great to see what you're doing. I actually, Rodrigue, sorry, I was following the timetable. But then
Don't worry. I was covering for you before you came in.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to talk about, I mean, I know that all of us are here to learn, to improve our performance and how we put our music and all the other sides of performance out. And so what I want to talk today is about the value of the people that you work with, there is a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go with others. So I want you to keep that very, very close to your heart, that if you're going fast, then just go alone. But if you want to go far, then you need to realize the value of other people in getting you far. Now, one of the things that artists, musicians, performers sometimes do is to want to build their solo brand without acknowledging the need they have for other people. So what I want to entitle my teaching today is managing your team. In other words, I'm saying you need a team. And I would be happy to already, I mean, as I talk, if you have a question or a comment, you can then put it there. But I am saying that you cannot do much alone. I'm sure you have already seen that this far that you have come, you have had to have people. Your people supporting you, people pushing you, people sharing, you know, your clips. And then of course, people voting for you. You're going to need people to buy your music or whatever it is you're putting out there. And by the way, stars are made by people. You can be very, very good, but if you have no people, then your influence is not going to get where it needs to get. So I want to say 4 things about managing a team. First, I've said you need a team because that's what will take you far. And why I have chosen to talk about this is that I find that a lot of times musicians and artists are not able to keep friendships for a long time. And that, of course, then affects their impact and their reach over time. So, number 1, I want to say that you need to build a network. Now, let me just ask you, who do you think you need in your network? My number 1 point is that whoever you are, you need to build a network. Can I have some responses? Either, I'm seeing hands up, either by putting your hands up or by writing in the chat. Who do you think you need in your team? Nancy Obinda, is your hand up? You can say what you need to say. And Ray Kimemia. Do I need to unmute you, or you can unmute yourself? Okay, people, why do you need a team? Or who do you think you need on your team? Somebody has said a mentor. That's true. Good. Friends and family, people who push you towards your goal. You need friends and family and all those who believe in you. People who believe in you, you need instrumentalists. Gracie is saying you need a prayer partner, a sponsor, a mentor, a friend, a support system. And Claire, they say supporters. Yes, prayer warriors, wow. Someone that complements your skill. So every one of you should already begin to do a list of who is in your network. Who is that needs to be in your network? Because, and I'm hearing it there, if you're a musician, you're going to need a band. Those are instrumentalists, right? You probably will need somebody who will lead that section if it's not you. You will need, somebody said a manager, somebody says a studio. Yeah, you will need BGVs, background vocalists. You will need people on the cameras, you know, to capture your moments. Every moment as you go around, whatever you do, you need those captured, whether in still photos or with, you know, video clips or even full clips. You need decor. You need somebody thinking about those things for you. Branding yourself can be a very difficult thing if you're going to go just by what you like. And sometimes then you don't have a distinct style that people know you by. Of course, you need marketers. And so every one of us at the end of this season needs to know that you're not going to go far if you think you can be everything. You want to be the singer, the composer, the instrumentalist, you know, especially those of us who are multi-gifted. Sometimes we think we can do everything. And unfortunately, that is what then stops you from becoming the best you can be. Okay, so you need people, you need a list. First of all, here we've just said prayer partner, sponsor, mentor, manager, studio. You know, we've written very good things. Now you need to put names to those sets of people. Why are we going to put names to them? Because then you need to approach them and share your vision with them and share with them how you want them to help you, okay? So number 1, build a network, a strong network of people that are going to propel you and your brand. Secondly, be clear on your expectations, your operations. When you call somebody in, you need to be very clear what exactly do you want them to do alongside you? You know, sometimes you're calling artists as well. All these people you have listed there are artists. So they also have their own brand. They also have their own gift they're bringing on the table. But it needs to be clear, what role do you want them to play around you? And I'm assuming that when you're starting off, these are not necessarily people you're hiring, but these are your friends, people who believe in you, people who believe in what you're doing. And so it should be very easy for you to say, look, I'm starting this thing out. Would you please come and be, you know, in charge of the instrumentalist, because, you know, I've seen your gift in this and that and the other. But you have to be very clear. What do you want them to do? How do you want them to do, you know? Thirdly, you must be very clear on financial obligations. You know, sometimes we call people to work with us, and the number one place where fights begin is when money is involved, okay? And money is always involved. People need transport to get to where they are going. People need to dress up. People need to eat. You know, there are all sorts of things that are going to need money. So you need to be very clear. Like, even if it is online, people need bundles, you know. So how is that going to be done? Who is going to bear the cost? There are people you're calling in and you're saying, I would like you to come in, bear your cost, help me grow. And you will find many people who are happy to do just that. But then sometimes when you don't tell people exactly what you're thinking, people think, okay, Tabitha has called me, means she's going to pay me something. And yet for me, I'm saying, no, I mean, this is my friend. They should help me do this. I'll help them tomorrow, you know, or no, for sure. I know that they're helping me, but I'm happy to put down, you know, something to facilitate them. Then the number one, I said, you need to build a network. You need to be clear on your operations. How are you going to do things? When, where, and stuff like that. You need to be clear on financial obligations. Who takes what costs? Again, when you're starting out, a lot of times there's a lot of probabilities, and people need to know that, yes, I'm coming in to support. There is really no money up front. Money may come, money may not come, or money will come. You know, you need to discuss those things. Then finally, this is very important, even after what we have discussed above. You also need to ask yourself, what is in this thing for my team? What is in this thing for my team? Because many times you find as an artist, you know, you've made a name for yourself, and you have had so many people holding your hand and pushing you to the top and all that. But then a lot of times you don't give recognition, or you don't even give them space to showcase what it is they also have. So sometimes what is in it for them, and I know that musicians lately don't like this word called exposure. They say mutu akuli exposure. But I want to tell you that there are some people you work with, and just by being on their platform, that exposure actually means a lot. So, but you need to determine, I'm calling so-and-so to help me with the instrumental bit. What is it that I think this will do for them? You know, what on my platform am I willing to give space for them, either to showcase their art as well, or to tap into my audience who already are coming because they like what I'm doing, so that they are also benefiting even as you grow. Can I take some questions now? Can I open this up for some discussions before we go into something else? Any questions, any comments? Actually, it doesn't have to be questions. Questions, comments? Are you there? I need to feel like you're there.
Hi, Ma'am Tabitha.
Hi, Joyce.
Yeah, this is Joyce or Joy from Mombasa.
Yes.
I just wanted to make a comment that the training is timely for me because I have my music that I'm trying to get out to be played, and I've been working just on my own, sending it to the media houses, but it wasn't working. So I realized that the plan that I'm having right now is to get a few friends whom I see are online most of the time. Then they can help me now to keep requesting for the songs. So I realized I can't do it on my own.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's very timely. So probably the next plan, I should get at least 5 friends who are online most of the time. Yeah. So that every Sunday morning they are on Rauka. They are saying, please pray for me this song by J.RODRIGUEZ. So that's my plan.
Exactly. And write the names down. You'll be surprised how many people you know and how much just that little buzz they give to you will do for you. You know, but sometimes when you haven't asked, people also are not sure how they want to come alongside you. Aha. Bayre, do you want to say something?
Yes, I could. Hi.
Yes. Hi.
First of all, I love your African earrings.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's a comment mostly on, I really like that you've said we cannot work alone as creatives and we need to build that network. And especially on the number 4 point on clarifying the value that they are bringing either to you or the value that you are bringing to them. I think it's something important we need to think about. And like you said, it does not always have to be in terms of money. Yeah, and it could be like Mama Helen likes saying, is it that you're offering them a partnership deal, or are they tapping into your audience? Are you helping advertise for them, or will you be their ambassador wherever you go? You will be associated with this. I really like that you're helping us to stop hating this term exposure, but to embrace it as a way of rethinking the value we offer to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always about money, and it was never meant to be that way. But I agree that artists have really been abused in terms of being used, and sometimes they're not even given fair and all that. So with a balance in between there, but yeah, let us not dislike opportunities that don't come with an envelope. Ray, is it Ray or Ray?
It is Ray. It is Ray.
Ray. Okay.
Yes.
We call it Rhea.
Rhea. Okay.
Everyone pronounces it the way they want to, but it's Ray. Sorry? Okay, anyway, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
I wanted to ask how much exposure is too much, because I have a very musical family, and we used to be called to go sing at Inoro TV in the morning. And most times we are supposed to be there by 5:45 in the morning. And I have a small child who's a school-going baby. And that means I have to make sure I know who's going to take him to school. I know when he's going to wake up and all that, breakfast and everything. And then I have to find out how I'll get there to the venue. And then you get there, they don't even give you water in the first place. They take breakfast in your presence, and they want you to keep coming to that show. And then when you're done, no one wants anything to do with you. But when you arrive, everyone is on your case. Hi, are you okay? Are you okay? This is what you're supposed to do. This is where you're going to sit. So how much exposure is exposure? Because I refuse to go. I refused to go, and they called me some time back. I said, enough exposure for me. I don't want this anymore. So how much exposure is enough?
I think you just forgot to be clear. And exposure is not being abused or being taken advantage of. Maybe we need to define what exposure is. And also, like when somebody calls you out for something, there are questions you need to ask. You know, there are questions, and that's why I said the last point, what is in it for the way you say what is in it for them, you also need to say what is in it for me, you know. I am coming, like you said, at 5:45. Of course, you're giving them content. So you're very valuable. And if you are late, they would even send a taxi to pick you. Of course. You know, but then now you also want to ask them, do they have budget? Do you have a budget for transport? And then there is nothing wrong with an early morning show to ask, will I have some coffee on arrival? It is good to also say, this is the bare minimum I expect. And you're not demanding, you're just saying, can I ask if I can have 1, 2, 3? Because that will make my settling in easy. And then as you're going into situations like those, you need to also have determined how long do you want to do that. Like if it's a show that is always there, you also need to ask them, how many shows do you want me to come on? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 2? Is it 1? So ask, you know, so that if they tell you 1, then you know you won't fast too much. If somebody, and maybe sometimes they want you to come, they see the response before they can commit. And it's okay for them to tell you, we want you to just come once, then we will see. But if they call you a second time, then you need to ask questions that are important for you. Because you need to determine, if you keep going, who is paying that fare, who is doing the other things you would have been doing when you're on the show, creating content. But also, you need to know, am I allowed, what else am I allowed to say about myself while I'm on the show? You know, can I share my YouTube channel? You ask, because when you don't ask, then it's assumed that you don't need it, or you don't know the value of being on air.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I think many people, I could be wrong, and I'm saying that thinking critically, because I know churches do this a lot, and it's not that they don't know, but I think because artists also tend to look like they are so desperate for the platform, then it's very easy for them to be abused. You know, but when you ask questions, then people know, oh, if you're going to get Tabitha, then, you know, have you considered 1, 2, 3, 4? And it is okay for people to know you that way from the word go. Anything else somebody wants to say? Does any one of you here, I'm seeing Elizabeth saying, well, Byra says, yeah, one needs to be really self-aware. Elizabeth says, I've had, what is that? I've had same experience as Ray. Sometimes it gets really hard to ask. It's not easy. I guess just learn, have some 3, 4 questions, and sometimes it's easier to ask in writing, you know, so that the other person also thinks through and doesn't say your tone is wrong. Where the check at had enough of exposure. I don't understand what David is saying. Maybe he can explain. True exposure, is it equated to abuse? Yeah. I wrote a song for someone and even voiced a part of the song for him. The guy went behind my back to shoot the video in the UK and use someone else on my voice. I still feel bad about it, but I've had to let it go. Yeah, I mean, that is the intellectual property theft. And I guess that is a whole area that I've seen it on the program. And I would say you need to be very alert from the word go. And even when you're going to do, the voiceovers for people, you need to sign some papers. You need to say, you know, how far is this going? By the way, the minute you have recorded something, if you have not, if you've not signed anywhere, then sometimes it's difficult, even if you wanted to claim it. But I know some people who have, I mean, for where I am, lots of people have done what you're saying. You do songs, they go, they put another face on it, they monetize it. And sometimes the legal battle is just not necessary, but it is because we at the onset are not documenting things clearly. So from the word go, and that is why sometimes you can't do this for yourself. You need somebody on your team who can do some of these negotiations for you. Because sometimes when you're the one, it can sound a bit funny. But if you have your friend will say, yeah, I'm talking on behalf of Tabitha, and they can ask 1 or 2, 3 questions, get you some information without you being in the thick of it. Yeah. So again, depending on your skills, do you feel you can negotiate these things for yourself or not? If you feel that's a big area of need for you, then you need a good friend who will always do that for you. And of course, with the operations and obligations and what is in it for them very clear, because sometimes you find that good friendships have been broken because somebody now starts saying, I'm the one who negotiated that deal for them. Look, they got so much, they gave me so little. I mean, it is never about that, So again, from the word go, they need to know, this is what you're doing for me. And it doesn't matter if I sign it and it's $1 million, eh? Yako ni kiasi fulani, So yeah, so those are things to think about. All right, where do we draw the line between working alone and working smart? That is using the host band and BGV to your advantage. Okay. This one, we may need to look at it a little more. But if you're in your local environment and you have people that you normally work with, you cannot replace the worth of having your own team with those that, I mean, if you're traveling far, you may want to use people already on the set, but you'll find that sometimes they don't quite get you the way your own team would. So again, it's a bargain you need to think about, but I would not trade having my own skeleton set group to always going to work with people somewhere else. Did an ad for Suraya, the property sold out, I was never paid, and I had gone to the studio 4 times, no fare, no nothing provided. Okay, Pole sana. Rai, I hope that was a learning curve and you don't allow it to happen again. So, because if it keeps happening, then it means there's a gap around your self-management that you are also not getting somebody into that space to help you out. Hey, Ma'am Tabitha, question, music is expensive, and if you're not stable enough, I think money should be the priority. To me, if my project pleases you, then all my sacrifices are services that should be paid for. Princess, oh my goodness, you guys have very interesting names here. Let me just call you Princess. And I'll also have Helen, I know she's talking to you a lot, but I'll have her chip in on this one. True, music is expensive and we need money, but I am from the school of thought that money should chase your good work. And sometimes when you look like you're all about money, actually you get very irritating. And we have seen certain artists who are very good, and when they put that money card out so forcefully, they have lost so many other opportunities because it's like, I mean, is it really just about money? So I'm not saying you should not be paid, but I'm saying not everything you do gets paid, and that's life. Rhea, you seem to have a lot of disappointments there. You did something for Nescafe, they paid you after 5 months. Well, at least they paid you. Once again, Rhea, I'd want to know, had you signed anything? I mean, had you signed anything that also said you'll be paid, in what, 90 days, 30 days, immediately? What do your invoices say? I understand, I will get papers. I suffered in this industry. Anyone you would recommend? I mean, there are lots of people, But let me also go the route of, if you don't have to pay, there are a lot of free contract templates online that you can customize and just have a series of them that says, if somebody asks me to do this, this is how we engage. This is the down payment. This is what I take to get off my my base if I'm going somewhere, and let it just be clear to you. Helen, do you want to say something about this one of, I think it was Princess? Music is expensive, and so money, money, money. Helen, are you there?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Princess.
So let me expound on what I meant.
Yes.
I was saying that music is a bit expensive, and when somebody is not enough, and somebody maybe a company is giving you a project to take care of, I don't think you are going to achieve it without maybe a token of pay or anything. Because if you take that project and you don't have anything to put into it, and almost everything in the arts industry requires some financial boost, and so when somebody is not stable enough, I think that person should be actually out enough to quote how much she's going to use, she's going to need to facilitate that particular project. And then that part of the services, if my project actually pleases you and you think that it's going to be a good thing to the company, then I think it's a service that is supposed to be paid for. So maybe, like you have said, I think we are not supposed to allow anybody to take advantage of us, but in the real sense, as you work smart so that that money should follow you. That's what I meant.
Yeah, and that's a good idea. And also let me say that with any business, if you're going into any business, you must have some capital. You must have some money that takes you off. You cannot be expecting that I'm coming to that show. You need to dress me, get me there, feed me. You also must have some seed yourself that you're putting down, seed that then will multiply. Okay, and so that you're planned. What I'm trying to say here is that we as artists should never get ourselves to a place where we look desperate, sound desperate, or are desperate. We need to know what we are. We need to know what we are worth. And then we need to be able to walk, even when we don't have, without too much murmuring and grumbling, because I can assure you, money follows good art. Invitations follow good art, and so you need to place yourself out there, and your number one goal needs to be, what are you trying to build? And that is why I come with the whole idea of you need a very clear vision, and what's your plan? 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you see of yourself? When that is clear, then it's easy for you to say, hey, for me to get there, surely I can't get there alone. So who am I going to need to help me actualize this dream? Now, it will be very clear, just like if you're doing a business, that in the first, a year, 2 years, you're sowing, you're setting yourself up. So nothing much may be coming out of that, but then you know for yourself that this is my sowing season. Then this is my reaping season. One of the things that really shoots as artists short is when we whip up something quickly and we want it to be the thing that makes us a star. And then I had a bit of what Rodriguez was saying, the shelf life of what you do then becomes very, it doesn't go anywhere because you haven't invested enough in it. You are running to say, if I go to perform, I know that performance, I'll come back with this much money, but you need to be asking yourself, after this, then what next? Then what next? Have I built a brand that I can sustain you know, I can sustain, you know, same level performances or even better, growing. And every time people see me, they can appreciate that I'm going somewhere. So Helen, say something about this money thing. Then I can see our time is running real quick. Okay. I'm chatting with Helen. She says yes, but I'm not hearing her. Okay, do we have any people here who already have a set team that they are working with? Or is AOV where you are beginning now to put yourself out as a musician? Any of you has got a team you're working with, or are we all just starting out? Riai?
So I have a sister who has done PR, and she's a very good marketer. A lot of DJs and hosts, TV hosts and radio hosts. Mm-hmm. So she does my marketing and my brother's marketing, and she looks for shows where we can perform. And I also have my brother who helps me with BGVs sometimes to do the male voices, because I do BGVs myself. And I also have a studio I've been working with, actually 2 studios that I've been working with, that approached me after seeing my posts on Facebook.
Okay. Do you have proper plans of how you're working, or is it ad hoc?
I haven't had proper plans at the moment. I will be working on that as I am learning a lot on what to do.
Yeah, so just, I think the main purpose for me bringing this up is, yes, I'm aware that many of you, this is your first time, you want to step out, and just hoping that, you know, you can step out with a strong foot. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be anxious. I like a comment somebody has put up here saying their mentor told them that if they go to a wedding, they need to have eaten so that they don't look desperate. That's a funny one, but yes, true. I mean, there is a level of settledness that makes you attractive, you know, as an artist. And there's a level of wasi-wasi that people just, you know, can put people off. But my bottom line is work on your art, work on your trade, get the support systems clear in place. One of the things we normally say is that have a base, have a place where you are the one. I mean, and sometimes, by the way, those places may not be places where you get paid, but have a place where your presence and your art is irreplaceable. People just know you're dependable. If you're there, this will be done. And, you know, just hone your art in that space. Then from there, you begin to get other invitations. But bottom line is make sure that what you are serving is beautiful, is growing. I mean, nobody really ever arrives, but is growing and having the proper support all around. Okay, I don't know if there's anything else. I don't want to start a new topic or discussion. It's 10 minutes. Joyce, I have my sister who is a filmmaker. The rest is just me and my husband. I have a full-time job and a young family. So I haven't given my music enough attention. Now I want to work smart and use people. Work smart and work with people. Not use people, work with people. Okay, yeah, so I had a team, but I had to quit since they weren't helpful at all. So I left everything in the name of music. So AOV is going to be my ladder if possible. Princess, when you say you had a team, they weren't quite helpful. That's a good comment. What kind of team was this, or how did it come together? Because it will help us to know. The fact that I'm saying get a team, don't go and get a useless team. Princess, what made your team not helpful? I mean, what made your team not what you would have wanted it to be?
Okay, I started singing when I was in class 7. So my dad connected me to a certain group, Avrix Kenya. I don't know whether you know it. So it was dealing with performance art and also singing. So they were the one managing almost everything that I was doing. But then they were expecting much than the support they could give me. For example, if I have to do a project, it's like I was to pay for almost everything. If we have to go produce something, I pay for their transport, I pay for their meals, I pay for almost everything and the production fee. So my dad checked on all this, and then he told me that I'm not going to work on this and you're also still schooling. When I was done with school, I got another group, a producer, of course. I did the first music, my first single, and then it was too expensive for me because he was expecting me to do the marketing myself. He wanted me to check on the occasions, the places I'm supposed to be performing, everything on myself. And then I also pay him as a manager. Then I just said no. I quitted everything and left music behind. So, that discouraged me until right now. I think I just want to work with LV and see where I can head. Yeah.
Okay, and from what I have said, the 4 things, where do you think, okay, maybe you never thought about it, but I think that maybe at the beginning, as you were stepped out, you were not clear about, who do you want to come in, on what terms? So that when somebody starts telling you that you need to pay their fare, it needed to be clear from the beginning, I don't have fare. I mean, I'm looking for people who we can build this together. And believe it or not, you will find people like that if that's what you're looking for, But sometimes when we want to run, the first person who comes, we run with them. And then when they say they need money, we start looking for the money to pay them when you are not even making money yourself, you see. So just being very clear and honest with yourself and saying, okay, I need a band, but what kind of band do I need? I need a band that will not ask me to pay them. I need, just being very clear with your operations from the beginning so that somebody doesn't come and start stressing you, or you go to a place, if it is church, you get honorarium and they are all looking at you like you need to share it equal. Those are the things that cause drama. But when all is said and done, people, we must find a way of getting a little team, 3, 4, 5, that can journey with you into your greatness, because what God has put into your hands will make you great, and there are no great people who work alone. Okay? I think I want to cap it up there, unless there is a question or a comment. I want to cap it up there. What or who should a team be made of? I think we've already, we had this over here. You need a mentor. You need somebody who's gone ahead of you, not necessarily to be on your team, but somebody who you can bounce off your ideas and they tell you, okay, or maybe you could do this. Again, it doesn't mean that everything your mentor says is what you will do. But, a mentor, somebody you admire, somebody you can bounce off ideas, very important. If you're a singer, you need a band. Yes, you will do a bit of a cappella here and there, but you will need a band, I said that you need vocalists, background vocalists to accompany you when you're singing. You need people to film you. I mean, you can't always keep doing selfies. You need a friend or two who, when you go, you're ministering somewhere, they will be with you in the congregation and they will take that video clip and then share it, you know, whether it's photos or the video clips. Of course, you need somebody who can push your brand. The big name would be marketer, but just somebody who is really proud of you, and whenever you do something, they want to shout about it, they want to talk about it and tell other people about it. You know, I think those are very, very important. Should the mentor be in your field of specialization? Not really. I don't know what you mean, but I mean, if you're a singer, you want a mentor who's a singer, if that's what you mean. If you're an actor, you want a mentor who's an actor, because they will have gone through some of the things that you're thinking through, and they may tell you, no, that is not worth it, or avoid this, or do that kind of thing. Yeah, so a mentor should be somebody who has walked the path that you see yourself walking in. And so somebody who can give you relevant information and relevant critique. You need somebody you can respect when they tell you, hiyo ni mbaya. You don't say like they are jealous, because they are ahead of you. There is nothing they can be jealous of you about. You know, I normally say in life, everybody needs 3 friends. One who has gone ahead, one who is a peer. You know, one who, when you say something, they say, oh, even me. Then you also need somebody who you are mentoring, somebody who's following you. You learn a lot from those people, because they are very, what is it called? Usually they are very adventurous. And I have really, being a teacher, I have really enjoyed seeing what the people I teach, when they come up with new ideas. I mean, I just marvel at what it is they can do. Some I try, some I realize that is for their time, but it helps me to have a different worldview. And so as I teach, I can incorporate some of those things as well. Right, I think I wish you well in your music journeys, and I hope to see you apply everything you're learning from everybody who comes to visit you here. And I can assure you, you are as great as your team. So build a good team.
Wow, I love that. Repeat that again. These people, I wonder whether they are team players like that. They are as great as their team.
You're as great as your team. So build a good team. Have good friends who will cry with you, who will, you know, have people who believe in you enough to sacrifice for your dream. You need
what happens to the people who don't cry with you? Do you delete them? Like we told, sanitize your phone book. Sanitize your phone book. Get the useless numbers off.
Well, you know, they could be useless in this season. Don't be too quick to delete people. Don't be too quick to delete people. Delete detractors. Delete people who want to kill you, But people who are just there being silly, it's okay. They can still be there when you send invites. You can still send. One day they might wake up. But if you know somebody's after your life, remove them.
Tabitha, I have a set of hustlers who stick around me a lot, but they're just hustlers. Yani every day kufika around madhi, uko na katao hapo, uko na katao.
Hapana.
Then the next day they come back again. Madhi. Ile taulisaidia madhi, ulisaidia lakini leo bwana, nipatie 5 bwana. 5,000 si mbaya. 5,000 madhi nimeumana bwana. Hebu nisaidie na kwa 5,000 bwana.
Hapana. Hao toa kabisa haraka.
Sasa tukiwatoa nani atawasaidia?
Hao toa. Ama ukue clear na how you want to help them to have something sustainable. Watoke begging mode.
Wanasema niokolee bwana, niokolee manzi, kuna plan nyingine hapa hivi imeingiana, lakini bado ndo zijatoka. Kesho nitakwambia, kesho, na hiyo kesho inafika, itakuwa ni kesho kutwa nyingine, kesho mtondogo.
Hiyo tabia mbaya.
Yeah, that's nice. Wow, Tabitha, okay. You are just exceptionally great. I want these guys to tell you what has been happening during the week. We have had, yes. Can somebody tell, what's that? Maire, are you there, Maire? Please give Tabitha Ogango a heads up on what we've been doing in the course of the week.
Okay.
And even what happened yesterday. Yeah.
First of all, to say we've not been impressive, especially in our group. So there was the second concert where we were separated into different groups based on those who proceeded to the next level. There were 3 groups created. One is called the Aced team, the second one called the Paced team, and the third one called the Trainees. That is people who felt they could not handle the competition, and so they would like to be trained but not be exposed to the challenges of the competition. So last week was for us to work in teams, the team Aced, team Paced, and one of the things is we were given a money challenge. So the money challenge was for us, it was to test us on can we be obedient? Because the challenge was the marks that we've been earning since the whole competition began was turned into virtual money. And all of us were asked to spend and exhaust all that virtual money. And we were given strategies into how we would do that. So it was to test us on, are we obedient and can we be creative at the same time? And it was also to teach us about the irony of life. So yesterday we had a meeting to evaluate how the week has been, considering that every week we normally have a concert to, for the judges to gauge us, but this time was extended because not so much had happened in the teams. And so Mama Helen gave us grace to extend the time. So we're going to have the concert next Sunday. And it's the expectation that in this week, all of us are going to pull our weight together and make sure we are active on social media and also active in what we are churning out. So the money challenge happened. Unfortunately, only one person we are aware of who had spent their entire amount. That is Ray Kimemia, Ray. And she actually won a recording deal because of that. Yeah. And also today we got a surprise contestant who got the recording deal. That is Princess Aurelia. She's also won the recording deal because she's also one of the people who had spent most of her money. So she was the two, let's say, the most obedient as far as the challenge was concerned. Yeah.
Apparently the recording, the producer is from Voi. So I sent out a word and said, do we have a producer in Voi? He called me and he said, you know what? There's a project I can see you're doing. Send me somebody. And you know what? Aurelia lives in Voi. That's how she actually landed the deal. Yeah. Yeah. And some of these producers, what AOV gives and promises is a single, because ideally you can release a song, only a song. You can't release 27 songs and people listen to all of them at the same time. So the way to be effective is to release a song. Apparently, recording is addicting. You might find those producers recording you once and they get addicted. They will lure you to record again and again and again, which we are hoping that can be the bait for you to actually create a relationship with producers who can actually be able to help you into the industry. Yeah.
Yes.
Apart from that, thank you, ma'am. Apart from that, we had classes last week with the celebrated Regina Ree on creating the edge in our etiquette and communication. Yeah, so she was running the classes the whole of last week, helping us know how we can figure that out. I think she's still part of it and we're still continuing, but she was introduced to us last week. So what happened yesterday in the meeting is, again, we were divided into further groups. So the first group it's called Nawiri, and this is for people who at least spent most of their virtual money. The second group is called Kiota, and this is for people who just spent some of their money. And the third group is Misisi, and this is for people who spent none of their virtual money.
Those are very selfish people. Very selfish people.
And Mama calls them selfish people.
They were given the talent and they kept it, dug a hole and put it under and said it arudi vile. But they are all still immune because they were able to come to a haphazard meeting, a meeting that was done impromptu, and they were able to all show up. So they got immune for the week. The rest of you who are not immune or in any of the groups, work harder because you're on probation.
Yeah. So that answers Joyce's question. What happens to those who did not come to the meeting is that
they're actually on probation. The rest of you, any of the people who are whatever, they are supposed to rejoice. Even if you don't come to class, we will not come and penalize you for missing class, etc. Of course, but you know that missing class is for your own benefit. Or if you did a crime and you are on Nawiri, Kiota, or Nisisi, nobody will ask you anything. But the rest, you do something tiny.
Oh, she's muted herself. Oh.
Yeah. Do we still have Tama Umenda?
There's one more thing. So what we were to work on last week is a song about either AOV or Africa in the ACE-paced and training groups. So we were extended time to work on that, and we should have a song by the time it is Sunday. So we should all have either worked on a song or AOV or Africa, and that is for the groups to decide which angle they will take. So that's what we're hoping to hear come Sunday at the concert. Yeah. So I think that's it from, Christine is worried, but we received her apology from Mama Helen on not being able to attend yesterday's impromptu meeting. Yeah.
Yes, Christine is also exempted because of her network. She's exempted. She's one among those people who need to really rejoice because but the rest of you we are not going to call you probators. I'm like you're on probation. No, we won't refer to you as people on probation, but you must ask people to vote for you. The rest, you don't have to ask people to vote for you, but you have to look for a language to make them active. Yeah.
So thank you. That's what happened the whole of last week.
Thank you, Mayre. You also have a gift in writing, Buana. We've just discovered that. Like we did a meeting, and by the time we're done, the minutes were done. Aurelia, oh, you have a mentor where you are the mentee. You know, hey. I think Tabitha must have gone to another meeting. Tabitha, are we still with you? I'm umeenda kwa meeting ingine. I tell you, these days when you're online, many things happen.
I'm right here.
Okay, there you go. Now you have a heads up on what's happening, what's been happening.
Very good, very good indeed.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, so yeah. You that's it. I think unless you have anything else to say, Tabitha.
No, I'm good. I wish them well. Put all your effort in this. Learn as much as you can learn. Yeah,
they will actually see you. They will actually see you as a judge. Oh, tell them what you expect as a judge. Is there anything really serious that they need to consider as they work on their songs? Because we're going to have a session where, a section where they will present their songs to you, and then you can judge. Yeah.
I think for me, the whole idea of a prepared piece is what catches me. You know, you can sometimes tell there's a lot of talent here, but somebody didn't work on this, and so for me, I would be expecting to see when you put out work that it's your best. It's not like you've just whipped it up, Jana. So whatever you're planning to present, sleep over it. Let it give you some butterflies. Work on it. Polish it up. I love polished work that shows skill. So showcase your best that has been worked on. Yeah.
Yeah, and tomorrow is my birthday. Is it tomorrow? Today is the 12th. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, come and drop me some water and pour water on me. 50th, Sabitha, I thought I was born before you,
I know, 2 days only. 2 days only.
Okay, sawa, nimeinua mkono. Sawa. Guys, thank you so much,
Thank
Tabitha,
you very much. God bless you all.
Yes, okay. All right, bless you, Tabitha. We'll see you again. God bless you guys. Thank you for coming up, and at least tumekula 10 minutes zenyu kidogo. Si mbaya sana. God bless you now. We'll see you again tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Jibu laala moyo Juba Sudan. Thank you very much, guys. God bless. Mhm.